Or you didn't know who your father was, but who was told that they were your father?
One of my sister's dad.
Until you were how old?
Seventh grade.
Seventh grade. And was this something like he pushed for a DNA test, or a court just ordered it, or how did it come about?
Hold on. Let me put my practice up. Or can you hear me clearly though? Like this?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, cool. So no, it was seventh grade. It was time to get like shots or something in middle school, and I don't know, for some reason DNA was done for whatever reason, and it came back that one of my siblings belonged to him and I didn't. But it wasn't surprising to me, my mom, or nobody else. We already knew.
How did he take it?
He pretty much was like, he cool. He remained on child support though.
So he continued to pay child support for you even though he knew he wasn't your father?
He continued to pay child support, but he didn't continue to have a relationship.
Okay. No, not even like at all. Even though he was your sister's dad, he just acted like you was just. So it was just nothing with you after that?
Yeah, like non-existent.
Okay, and after him, was there another father figure?
No.
Is that something that you feel like you should have had?
No.
You feel like mom did enough as the father figure that you got what you needed?
She did what she could do, and I think she did a good job to do it for 5 girls, and no male figure other than like child support. I mean, there was no difference to me, because even when you were around, it was more so financial. And I still wasn't without, even with you out the picture, I wasn't hurting for nothing. The child supports, the check's still coming. So that's that.
Okay. So all of you all, you, your mom, and 5 girls, again, we cleared up last night, you were never raised by anyone outside of your mother. Your mom had custody of all of her girls. So it was her and her 5 girls, correct?
Correct.
The father of one of your siblings turned out not to be your father. And after that, there really was no other male role model for any of you.
No.
Okay.
Well, ain't no any of you. They had their dads. It was just like for me. Yeah.
For you. Okay. At what age do you feel like is where you cross the point of no return with your rebelliousness?
11.
What happened at 11?
That's when my granny passed.
On your mom's side?
Yeah. Not my mom's mom, but her mom, my great grandmother.
Your great granny.
Uh-huh.
You were really close with her?
It wasn't that we was really close. It was just like, our granny is our mama. Like, even to this day, we don't call my mom by her name. I mean, we don't call my mom. We call her name. We call my granny mama. And it's not because my mom was any less of a mom. It's just like, my granny was the mama of everybody in the family. Like a lot of other Black families. She was just our mama. She was just like that. And she was the glue to the family and shit. So it's like, we knew when she left, this shit is over with, you know? My mom was, even though she wasn't young, it's just like her lifestyle was still very young, very turned. My grandmother's somebody who's going to read to us. She going to listen to us. She going to guide us. She going to pray with us. She going to do all those things, you know? My mom ain't like, no.
So do you feel like that there's a matriarchal person there now for your kids, that is that for your kids?
Absolutely. Too many. Yes, a lot.
Okay.
Y'all, please don't touch our G rants.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not even looking at the comments. Um, was that a deciding factor for you when you decided to have kids? Um, as far as, the parental side, is he gonna be here, or did it not matter? Because I've heard you say before, when you're in love, you're dumb, you're crazy, you don't think like, you do whatever, it is whatever. Can't nobody tell you nothing. You gonna believe what that person says. So when it comes to your children, like, was that something, were you doing that for them, or was that something that you wanted and you thought it through and you were like, yes, I want these men as the father of my children?
That's not a decision that wasn't a choice for me. I didn't give vaginal birth.
Okay. So your kids aren't your biological children?
No.
Gotcha. But you're never going to step on them, meaning you're never going to call those children your stepchildren. Those are your babies, even though
they're not my stepchildren. They are mine. Yeah.
I got you. Okay. Excuse me. I know you said last night when it came to your babies that, initially your protection of them was probably your most important thing. They were discovered, things came out, and so now you said, fuck it. You tell them everything. They know everything about everything that goes on over here with you. Yet you are still so confident that no one is ever going to be able to touch them as far as social media. Mm-hmm. Are you really prepared for what can happen if someone does?
They won't.
How are you so confident with that?
I'm very confident with that. They won't. Touch them how?
You don't think that there's another HB?
Are you talking about physical, or are you talking about reaching out to them, talking shit, or something like that?
To them. No, I mean reaching out to them through social media.
That's not
getting to them that way. I don't mean physical.
They're gonna block them. I don't have no jits. Like, they are teenagers. They are young adults learning how to drive, can cook a full meal, that kind of stuff. Can teach you a little something about credit. They're not stupid. They're not green either. It's 2025. I don't think anybody is parenting their children like it was in the 80s. People are getting straight to the point. I'm on social media. If you're ever harassed, if you're ever reached out to, and not just TikTokers, this conversation was had prior to Messy Talk. If you're ever reached out to somebody you are not aware of, you don't respond. You block them. That's it.
Okay. That's fair. Excuse me. I like that. All right. Your relationship with your siblings, what's that like?
I have one favorite sibling.
Does she know she's your favorite?
You do. She absolutely do. And then the rest of them, we just cool. And then my oldest one, that's the one that's like really funny or whatever. Like, you want to have a good time, whatever. Everybody else, they straight.
What did the one do to become the favorite? How did she?
I don't know if it's just the Pisces in her or what. I really get along with Pisces people, and I hate to do like the zodiac thing, but I really do. They're just genuinely really, really good, pure people, and that's what she is. She's trustworthy. She's not going to repeat anything that you say, and it's not just to me. It could be from one of her patients to just a stranger. She's just a good-hearted individual. She listens. She cares. She don't just. She make me feel loved. She make me feel cared for. She makes me feel safe. She makes me feel secure. She makes me feel comfortable in every aspect. I can talk to her about anything. I can confide in her about anything. I know that it ain't going to get brought up in my face. She's a great resource. I don't know. She's just everything. Okay. That's my boo.
That's your boo. And is that the one that one night that we heard?
I won't say which one it is.
Okay. 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 All right. Well, I'm glad you have that. And you all have been like that from the beginning, or did it happen as grown-ups?
It's been like that forever.
It's been like that forever. So, your sister being your first friend, did you have quote friends, girlfriends growing up,
No,
bestie?
no,
So,
they.
with you,
So I would consider sometimes I used to consider my sisters, my older sisters, their friends, my friends, but not me. Have like my own friend? No, absolutely not.
why?
It just never was something I was interested in. Um, I've been off the spectrum. I've been off the spectrum or whatnot, and it's just like it's hard for me to connect. And I feel like I don't like getting overwhelmed. Even as a child, I don't like feeling overwhelmed. And I don't care if that's children. I don't care if that's family. I don't care if that's a job. I don't care if that's a friend. I don't like being overwhelmed, and I don't like being responsible for something that doesn't benefit me. So if I'm responsible for making you happy, if I'm responsible for listening to you, if I'm responsible for showing up to an event of yours, I just don't want that responsibility. I'm very selfish. I'm very selfish. This is my life.
Okay. So, and you said that to me yesterday when we were on the phone with regards to the kids. Um, do you want to clear up the assumption when it comes to the custody of your kids?
Their their custody is with their grandparents. Y'all already know that.
Right. But you made it clear to me yesterday if your kids were with you, or if you wanted your kids with you every day, all day, that's where they would be. But you know that that's not what you want, so that's not where they are. And that's why they are where they are. It wasn't anything to do with they were taken. It's just that's where you want them to
So
be.
that is something that I can't clear up. You guys did have the allegations that they were taken. That never took place. There was never a custody thing. Some disputes here and there, yeah, but a custody situation that never ever took place. That's just never been the case. You can't take something that don't belong to somebody. So just don't let that go over your heads. But yes, it's an option. If I want them there, they will be there. If they want to be there, they will be there. If I don't, they won't be there. You know what I mean? That is up to me. Absolutely.
Excuse me. All right. Um, let me see. I'm trying to pay attention to the time. And I am glancing at the comments. It looks like they're wanting more of the messy talk
Y'all, my
stuff.
mother is not raising them because they did not come from my mother's not raising them, you guys. It's not my mother. It's not on my side of the family. It's on the kid's father's side of the family. It's not on my side of the family at all. No. That wouldn't make sense.
Do you want, while we're here at this point, do you want to check Messy Mail and see if there are any questions up to this point? That way you're not answering questions for the whole interview. So if you all want to send her questions right now with regards to the family side of things, go ahead and send your Messy Mail questions, your CA questions, so that this can flow, and the messy talk part of it, once we start it, y'all can continue it after the interview. Okay? So I'm going to continue to ask a few more family oriented questions. If you all, again, now is the time to send your family questions. Anything family related. This is what you're. Huh?
So I was telling him with messy mail, make sure that you send the 10 first and say check messy mail, and then I check the messy mail.
Correct. And the reason she's using the Messy Mail in conjunction with CA is because, you know, you can only put so much in there for the CA. So you send the CA to say check Messy Mail, and you however long your question is, type it out and send it to her. Okay? Now, what was your highest grade completed?
7th.
7th grade. And that's when you start going to juvie. You never, did you get your GED?
I graduated in juvenile.
In juvenile?
So in regular school, my highest grade completed, like attending an actual school, was 7th.
Okay. Okay. Everything else was just done
And
outside
then,
of conventional school. All right,
yeah.
I got
So
you.
at 16, I was at Hope. I think I was at Hope. I was at Hope when I finished. I think I was at Hope outside of Panama City, Florida. So I was at Hope.
Okay. At 16,
Hmm.
you spoke to me yesterday about a time in your life where you lived as a nomad. Do you want to touch on that for a second?
No, because I told you that on the phone.
Okay.
But if you insist, it's already out there. So when me and Chuck was going through our separation, the house that he purchased gave me vibes. It gave me it gave me weird vibes. And this conversation sparked when we were talking about like Ray the Fixer and shit. And I was saying how she's gonna be fine, whatever. When I did it, it was fun. My situation was much different than hers. I had a home and I would go home and I could brush my teeth and I could watch Mass and I could watch TV. But at night, we are forced to live in this same home and it was very toxic. And I got a lot of mug shots behind just can't control my anger while residing in the same home. So sometimes, throughout the day, I was a reader, a big reader. So I would take my Kindle and I would get my watermelon and I would go to the beach and I would read a lot and I would eat my melons, feed the birds, I would fish. And some nights I just stay out there. So that's what I was saying. Like my situation was much different than hers, but it was something very peaceful for me. The atmosphere was very peaceful, waking up to a sunset, watching the sun go down, very safe environment. And just, I don't know, it was just something very cool to do.
Okay. Some people don't know um, how closely involved you work with some of the shelters in Florida. How did you get involved with that?
I was a DV victim. And after my second round of being a part of the program as a victim, I started to volunteer after a few years.
And you've just maintained it ever since.
Absolutely, yeah.
What does that do for you?
Um, it's satisfying. I don't know, it just makes me feel good. I just remember being in the same situation as him. When you look at somebody that was in a situation as you, and at some point they were you, and you knew the resources that you needed, and you needed the help and you knew the help and the assistance that you needed, and you knew the ear that you needed, and you didn't need anybody to judge you, and you needed somebody to trust. I like being that for them because I had that for me.
Right. Are there any other charities that you work with outside of the DV shelters in Florida?
Nope. Mm-mm.
Okay. All right. Um, for people to hear you say, some of the things that you said last night with regards to being well, not necessarily being performative, but everything being a skit for you because you decided that this was an avenue of making money. That's it. That's all. No more, no less. When you do come across someone that has been through the DV situation, I know you say you don't allow yourself to connect, you disassociate. Do you still think you hold true to that when it comes to a DV victim? Or
Absolutely.
do you allow that
I
to...
definitely I definitely do. I definitely disconnect. I remain disconnected. Your trauma is not my trauma. I don't care if we even went through something very similar or damn near the same thing. Yours is yours and mine is mine. I think the problem is when you start connecting. That's when I feel like it becomes a problem. What happened to you, and what happened to me happened to me, and they're two different things. And all I do is just be of whatever resource that I can be for that person.
I love that. I really, really do. I remember the night in the Discord when you were telling us stories about, you know, what all the program that you work with, what all they do for the women once they get them down there, you know, how they help them once they leave. Why isn't that something that you speak about more?
Because it's messy talk goes after things that, you know how we are. We attack each other on TikTok and off TikTok. That is something that I don't ever want to be kicked out or can't be a part of. That's why you would never hear me throw out like making fun of DB. I make fun of a lot of shit on here, but that's one thing I don't, because I would never want that to be clipped and sent to the favorite house. So I just kind of steer away from that.
Okay. All right. So you're careful about who you would help when it comes to that?
No,
Or
I'm not careful at all about it. If somebody's in a situation, they're just in a situation.
I truly love that. I didn't even know places like that existed. For real, for real. You know, you see stuff like that on TV shows, but where I'm from, I've never heard of anything like that. But after you said what you said that night in the Discord, it made me look into it. Because I didn't think that our small cities or small towns had those type of programs. I want to take a moment right here and ask if you live in a small town or a small city and you did not think that there were programs like this, please inquire. Inquire.
I will say is, as common as DV is, I think even in the tiniest, the smallest town, there's a resource or a women's shelter for DV. So it is rare that you have not heard about it, or your town maybe not have it, or it could just be because it's not your situation. But every city I know, including mine, and the tiniest cities outside of Pensacola, definitely have resources for DV. And if they don't, they will get you to the nearest city. Now ours, you don't even have to be a man, don't even have to put their hands on you for ours to accept you at all. He could just be coming off intimidating. You could just find the situation very toxic for you and your kids, and they're coming to pick you up. So they're going to ask you to meet them somewhere, and they're going to create a safety plan to pick you up. So, but I would hope that every city has some type of DV shelter. And ours, although we call ours DV shelters, they do look like little baby mansions. You know, they might sit in some really beautiful property on the water or something. It's still a shelter, but they try to make them as comfy as possible for these moms, or just even if you're not a mom, even if you're just a woman. Period.
Okay. Have you gotten any messy mail? Because we're about 30 minutes in.
No, I got one CA, but it was just like a support CA. And thank you so much for the CA.
All right, cool. They send a comment, cousins are down there tussling. Yeah, we ain't got nothing to do with it.
In the comments.
Yeah, I'm not either. I just so happen to glance and see that one. So, alrighty. Let's jump over to where I feel like the majority wants you to be, which is right here in Messy Talk. There's a lot of lives held today. Lot of lives held today. People talking about a lot of things from a year and a half ago, when Heartbreaker made her debut onto Messy Talk. Now, last night you made it clear that, you know, your introduction, you started over on the red pill side, which you named off, I think, Freeze and Rico and all of them. You saw the weakness and where to pounce and how to move. You moved accordingly, and then you went from there to lower ninth. That's kind of where your introduction to some of the women came, myself, T, and Crown, and that's where you saw your opportunity. Now, the Black Chicago situation is what gave or what made Heartbreaker's name on this side of TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Last night you said that you did what you had to do. It was dark, but you did what you had to do.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a safe assumption that that's what you were referring to?
Not at all.
Okay. Do you want to tell us what you were referring to?
I just did what I had to do. I came over here. I was instigating. I was messy. I was meddling. I was using my sex appeal. I was teasing the men, taunting the men. I was going out of my way to prove that they're not what they're on here preaching and portraying to be, and etc. I wasn't nice about it at all.
Okay.
I was very manipulative and malicious and just effed up.
Okay. How did you choose the men?
The ones that were yapping. And if you're in a crew and you're yapping about black women, and that's who I did that for. If you were if I seen a live and I'm scrolling down my FYP and you putting a sister down because she got a degree, or because she don't want to wear her natural hair, or because she got standards and she don't want y'all ass, or she wanted men to take care of her. If I catch you doing that, I was pretty much on their ass, with no strings attached to the women at all. It bothered me to see that. I didn't think that things like that took place until I got on the app. So I was on them, and so I would, if I couldn't get them, I would scout out their weakest link. And they always had a weak link in their group. Always. All it took was for me to cam up and talk that shit. And before you know it, they're liking my pictures. You like my pictures, I got you. You're viewing my profile, I got you. You send me a gift, I got you. You're in my DMs, I got you. It was one of those things.
Is it safe to say that your position in Messy Talk has made it easier for you than finessing men?
What's that?
With regards to, like you said, going after the red pill men, doing what you had to do, because for you, it always goes back to the dollar, right? Whether it's them paying for your content, whatever it is, flying you somewhere or just sending you money because you asked for it. What's an easier hustle, Messy Talk or that?
I don't hustle Messy Talk. I give Messy Talk something and they give me something. So I get on here and I be of some sort of entertainment for Messy Talk and they get something in return. For them, that was finesse. That was hustling them. And I wasn't even intentionally trying to hustle them. It was personal for me. After, like I said, I ain't never met men that grouped up and did what they did until I got on this app. That was real different for me. And so it was personal, but I got financial gain out of it too. So I don't know. I mean, I think the bigger outcome is Messy Talk, but I don't hustle Messy Talk. I hustled them, but it wasn't so much for the money. It was a principle. It was more so to prove a point. To show the women that was being pick me, sitting along the side of them on the panels and things like that, these niggas is capping. If they wanted a woman like you, if they wanted a woman of virtue, if they wanted a modern day woman, if they wanted a woman covered up, wear her real hair, no makeup, they would have hollered at y'all. They hollering at my black ass. And you know what I mean? And I'm on here being the Jezebel that they say that I am. So that's the only points that I was trying to prove. And there's one in the comments, Pretty Crash Out. She was over there like clockwork. She was one of those women on that panel, vouching for everything. And she's changed. She definitely switched up.
Did she?
She absolutely did.
That was my next question. Are there any women from that side that you were able to bring out of that?
Yeah, it's a lot of them over here on Messy Talk from Freeze them side, and even Lower Ninth Ward, the ones that used to sit in Guru's live and gas him up, Classic Man, Clapback, all them, they used to be over there. It's a lot of them that's over here now. Absolutely. Okay. They definitely over here on some I wish a nigga would type shit.
I did not know that. I had no clue.
Yeah.
But that's what's up. Okay. Um. So with the dissection of going back to the messiest of the messiest, with the dissection of what happened to you back in December of 2023, um, what do you see? What do you see coming from this? Because like we all know on this side of TikTok, people fall out however long it takes. Some people fix it, some don't, right? So people that have repaired things may hear shit that they didn't know someone said, or you may hear shit that you know, alive that you missed back then. We all assume for whatever reason that everybody heard everything while it was happening, and that's just not how things go. So with your situation being that thing that created, I think we all agreed your situation created Messy Talk. And with the redissection of that, where do you see this going?
Where I would like to go Messy Talk wise, I don't want Messy Talk to be my life or no type of career like or something like that, or my future. But where I want it to be at is on an E. Kane level, on a Peach McIntyre level. So the negative is what get your name out there. That's what keep your name ringing. That's what get the people talking. So constantly blowing bitches' minds with the things you say, wowing people, keeping it real, not creating a group. You don't see Peach McIntyre in no group, and E. Kane either. Stand by my motherfucking self. Keeping all that down. I do have a support system within my Discord. All those girls are pretty much positive. You know what I mean? They're not a messy group or nothing like that. And it's less than 5, you know? So I do already have that, and that's good enough for me. So I just want it to be on that level where I don't have to keep up mess throughout Messy Talk to get to the paper or whatever. Because once your name is out there, you start to network and all of that.
Okay.
So that's why I say everything that I be doing do not be personal. It just don't. I don't care. That's why I can talk to you again after I just ate you up yesterday, because it don't mean nothing to me, babe. I'm on a mission, and that's just it. I'm trying to do something. But you all right with me? Yeah.
So that's where I was going. You can eat a bitch up yesterday and tomorrow. Y'all cool. Well, not cool, but you know, it is what it is.
I ain't mad at you. I'm not sweating it. Yeah, right, I'm not tripping cool. On it. Yeah.
Exactly. So people are shocked and appalled that you and I met in person, considering the history. I was one of the women on the HB, I guess you would say, hate train now. That's the buzzword. With regards to your situation. And how can you not take it personally? It was a personal situation, so how can you not take it personally to where you could just sit and be in the same vicinity as someone who was saying the things that we were saying? How do you go from there to here?
I'm not gonna, because I feel like y'all didn't know no better. I feel like y'all didn't know no better, and the reason why I didn't take that personal is because I knew y'all was hating. I knew it had nothing to do with Black Chicago or nothing like that. That's why I knew I cannot grow in that space, because I'm amongst a bunch of jealous bitches. That's how I looked at y'all. Like, these bitches don't know no better. They hating. You know what I'm saying? They mad for real. That's what I had in my head. It had nothing to do with no victim blame. It had nothing to do with, I don't believe you. Y'all very much believe me. You had no choice but to believe me because the nigga admitted. It was more so who this bitch thinks she is. Y'all was like the hot thing at the time when it came to the red pill niggas. Y'all came up, y'all get up there. I'm like, they get up there, they look tired, whatever. Bitch, I'm here. I was looking at it like it's a new sheriff's in town type shit. And I knew y'all couldn't handle it. Asamal couldn't handle it on Laura's channel. Y'all couldn't handle it in T's. Y'all didn't have no room for me. So I already felt like any opportunity they get anyways, I definitely got to go. But if I go, that's going to be a mistake on their behalf because I'm going to blow. If I go, bitch, I'm going to blow. So that's how I looked at it. I couldn't take y'all serious. I just couldn't. I mean, literally, I couldn't. It was like a kid. It was like a kid telling me I'm fat and I'm 120 pounds. That's how I looked at y'all. Like, them bitches is not serious. Now, my response to y'all, that lick back, y'all had to get that. So that may have seemed very personal, but it wasn't. It was strictly fun for me, and it was just an excuse for me to go ahead and turn myself up on the app. And it happened. It worked just like that. To be honest, y'all was to blame for who I am now. Y'all helped that in so many ways. From the moment y'all let me up on that goddamn panel, y'all helped. Y'all literally, y'all helped that. Y'all created that. Most definitely. And I appreciate that. How could I be mad at, like, how could I be like ongoing mad at y'all? Look what y'all did for me. Mad for what? Thank you. And I always give y'all flowers for being stupid, because at the time, I'm sorry, but that's just what y'all were. There's no way I would have tended to me. I would have been like, oh, that's why I don't make, that's, you know how I always say over here, I don't make nobody bitches famous. You can, Marilla hop up on the panel every day and try to argue with me. I don't hear you, bitch. She keeps talking about, we need new characters to come out. You've been trying for 3 months, not off me. Somebody else gonna have to do it. I'm not gonna be a Chef Tea Time Crown, AP, and confident. I'm not gonna be none of them. I'm not gonna be that for you. I won't help you. I refuse. No, hands up. So that's how.
Okay. And there it is. Do you think that tea has changed from then to now?
Do I think that T has changed? I don't know. I don't pay her close enough attention. I don't know. I'm not sure.
So if given the opportunity, with another HB situation coming across her platform, is she gonna jump on it or let it walk by? That's what I mean when I'm asking, when I say, do you think she's changed?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I do hear her always say, like, she learned from that, but
right.
It's what she learned from that that I think be the problem.
Right. So I'm asking, the reason I'm asking that is because the dissection of it today, and so much of what she was saying was so wrong, because timeline is important, and there was a lot of space and time in between things that were happening that just, you know, recaps or lives don't always convey that or give that context. So I feel like the reopening of this and the redissection, what was learned for real? Because what's the point? What literally is the point of that? We have gotten.
I will say this. I do feel like that is a question for T, but I will say this, because you did ask, like, just my opinion. I do feel like T is strategic. And I think that T witnessing what that situation, as big as her platform was at the time and as influential as she was at the time, I do feel like, and you know, whatever, I won't get into that, but I do feel like T's like, I'm not turning another bitch up, and I'm not going to partake in something that could put a dent in a platform that took me so long to build. I would hope that she wouldn't. Now, she definitely says that, you know, that's just not, things like that she would have to just excuse. But yeah, I would hope not. I don't know.
Okay. So, but that's how this side of TikTok works. Forget T. Just content creators in general. That's how this side of TikTok works. It's messy talk. The creators go at each other. That's what's happening right now. Somebody gets mad at somebody, whether you are purposely misunderstanding something or not. And then it just continues to go. And this branches off from that, and that branches off from this. So either you respond and you give the person energy and possibly a name, or you don't respond, and then people are looking at you like you're pussy. So
That just scared the hell out of me. Thank you, Nurse Dawn. W's in the chat for Nurse Dawn, you guys. Thank you, Nurse Dawn. I love you so much.
I hate that goddamn thing.
I'm looking away because I'm trying to look at the comments, and it just made me jump. Thank you, Nurse Dawn. I love you.
It was a noise for me. I'm sorry. That was the MVP, Nurse Dawn.
See my baby. Nurse Dawn emotes in the comments.
Y'all make sure y'all shop with Nurse Dawn. Go support her. Her link is in her bio. She is amazing. So with you, like you said, you're choosing not to give Mo the time of day. So who do you give it to?
What do you mean?
If someone popped up on your panel right now and decided to just go in on you for no reason, are you gonna give them the time of day, or
you're not gonna? First of all, you're not gonna go in on me on my panel. I never understood why people allow that. Number two, I would only feed into it if I can eat off of you, if I could see an opportunity in you. So just the people that I have given, I have, went sub only. I gave them a little, I gave them a live, I gave them this and I gave them that. That's because some bitches was somebody over here. And I knew I could make a buck off of them or something like that. It got to be something like that. That's why you don't ever see me respond to like fake pages in the comments. That's just not something you're going to see from me. Or just people that, I don't know, people I can't eat off. I'm not doing it. That's crazy. That gotta be personal. That means your feelings are involved. I don't have my feelings involved on Messy Talk. That's crazy. That's the stupidest shit. We don't know these people. How could your feelings possibly be involved about individuals you never met, some you never will met? They not finna feed you. They no chance of fucking you. Like, that's just kind of crazy. I just can't do that. I'm not no fucking emotional roller coaster. I gotta somewhat care about you to be on that type of time.
Okay. Your relationship with BK. When y'all fell out, or I'll say when he came for you, after y'all fell out, you said, I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not going to do nothing. You went for everything and everybody around him. Why is that? At that time anyway. Why is that?
Well, because I grew to really love BK. I caught feelings. Like I said, when it came to him and Cash, they had the damn go. I don't know. I had grew to like really care about them. And I'm like that about somebody now that's like not a live host. She's just a supporter of mine. And it's fucking obvious, but she's not somebody I would push away because I know she mean well, regardless, no matter what. But BK is just somebody that I had caught feelings for, not in that kind of way, but I had caught feelings for. I really, really did. Like, we really was like, we vibed like crazy. So I don't know. That's why, but I realized real quick that BK is just like me. He ain't nobody friend on this bitch. He not. He's no one's friend. I don't care what he say. I don't care how it makes you feel. He could very well make you feel it, but he's just not no one's friend. I had to accept that.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
He isn't. He isn't. And that's my opinion. He could very well disagree. I just think BK's very strategic.
Well, he admits that he's extremely strategic. He admits that, if he don't say nothing until he's ready to say, and then when he says, he only gonna say so much. He don't put it all out there. He admits that. So are you saying because he's strategic, the relationships can't be real?
No, this is also business for Braid too. That's how I feel. That's just how I feel. And that's what Braid told me when we came back from Atlanta. He's like, I don't want no friendships. He's like, this shit is business. And I was like, yeah. And that shit kind of moved me because I'm like, damn, I thought we was vibing, right? And he's like, yeah, I keep telling y'all that's not what I want on this app. And I was like, well, you the one who be saying it. He said, it don't mean nothing. So I'm not one of those people like on TikTok when they be like, so-and-so said this, but we know it's not true. I'm going to believe you. If you say that, I believe you. And I don't care if 7 months from now you have me feeling warm and fuzzy again. Hell nah. I remember what you said. And I got to believe you. I think sometimes we just have to believe people.
I've heard you say a few times, just in the past, I don't know, couple of weeks, BK don't like me for real. Do you really believe that?
Absolutely. Yeah. He's entertained. He's like me. He's entertained. I be amongst a lot of people and they look like, dang, HB, that person real tight. No, we not. That person just may entertain me every now and then. They may be really good for some situations. And there's some situations that Braid be ready to like go above and beyond to destroy me because it's not good for whatever he's trying to be entertained by at the moment. So sometimes it works and sometimes it don't. So that's just it. Yeah, no.
Okay. So now yesterday, I don't know if you remember, but you said that you and BK were nothing alike.
We're not.
What the hell? Why y'all playing? Why why y'all playing, bro? Do you have any missing mail? You know what?
I don't. I'm just getting support CAs, but not any message. No.
Y'all play too much, bro. What were we? I was talking about BK. Okay. Hello. Sorry. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. My apologies. My phone was ringing. All right. Y'all send those last 2 galaxies. Clear her live goal. Start sending your excuse me, your messy mail questions. I didn't want to take this past an hour, and we're at the last 10 minutes. You and BK's vibe is undeniable. No, her and BK just, I feel like they understand each other. They understand each other's crazy. Can somebody block wellness, please? They are the yin to each other's yang. I agree. I agree. He is able to hypnotize people. He has that thing about him, just like she does. And that's why they can see each other for who each other are. And they respect that in each other. It's crazy. I've heard, you hear them talk about it in the same way if you pay attention. There's the CA. Send all questions to either Breeze615 or underscore Heartbreaker 90. Dirkalicious said, don't get them, HB.
I ain't even looking at the comments.
You want to start letting people up?
Well, nobody's in the queue, but yeah.
Well, good evening. Happy holidays, Chef HB. How y'all doing today? This is great, Chef. You did a wonderful job. Were you done?
Hold on, Edwin. It is 25 to bring people up during the interview. Can you go ahead and send it to the CA? I think you already have my CA, Missy Kitty 850. If you can go ahead and take care of that.
Say again, HB. One
It's
more time.
25. It's 25 to come up during. Thank you so much for the Galaxy. It's 25 to come up during the interview. If you can go ahead and send that to the CA.
Okay, let me see what I can do.
Thank you so much for your
To which one?
Missy Kitty 850. I think you already sent something to it. You sent something to it before.
Let me try it. Okay.
Yeah. Anything else, you guys?
Yep. So, HB, I do want to say thank you, for the time, the interview. I appreciate you showing me around your city. I truly had no idea Pensacola was as big as it is. It's a vibe. I really did enjoy myself. Listen.
I have a question for you.
That's
like follow up from the interview. So I do think you did a good job. I do. I think you'll do very well at this. I certainly do. We did have. Hold on, let me see. Okay, then we certainly did have a few conversations. Thank you, Kate. Thank y'all so much for helping me reach my gift card. We had conversations off of the app. We did regarding some things, and you did mention these things in the live. I didn't expect that because they were private conversations, but since we did, I do have a question about a question you asked me last night. So you asked me, you said, when are you going to give me my props for clocking you? And I said, what do you mean? You said, for clocking you, for setting that man up. I want to know why is it so hard to believe that he wasn't set up, even with him admitting to it? I just want to know that, like, just give me like 5 things that gave set up, and even to today in 2025, you still feel like you clocked my T. So you have apologized, but when you asked me last night, to give you your credit for clocking me for quote unquote setting him up, that tells me that either the apology wasn't genuine or you still very well feel that way. So can you give me like a few things as to what gave setup, if you don't mind?
What gave setup was when you said in the interview that you had to do something really dark.
And you assumed that it was that.
I did, and that's why I asked a follow-up question tonight, because that was an assumption. And I said, well, let me ask the question because that might not be what she was talking about. And you cleared that up, that was not what you were talking about.
So you took me saying that I had to do something very dark, and you instantly... Sorry. But that's not what it gave last night. It gave... I can't even give it... I can't even, like, look at it like you piggybacked off of me saying the dark thing. Okay? The look in your eyes and the look on your face was given, you did that. Just give me my props type ish, you know? And it had nothing to do with a question, because that question could have been a lot of things. I'm not gonna lie, I did a lot of dark things, from Freeze Live to Lower's Live to Tease to even I could have been talking about the funerals that I did on Babies and on Nitra and all the other diabolical shit that I did. I could have been talking about the lying of celebrities. It could have really it could have been various things that I could have been talking about regarding me doing something dark to really get me out there on Messy Talk. And you instantly assumed that it was that. So to me, that just tells me that that's something that you genuinely feel and believe. I just want to know why, though. Like, because it can't be that. It can't be the way I answered that question.
That is the exact reason that I had the follow-up question tonight, because I wanted to make.
Well, last night that wasn't even more so a question. That was like an assumption. If I tell somebody, and it'd be different if you leaned over and you said, "Did you set him up?" You said, "When are you going to give me my props for clocking you for setting him up?"
Because that was my initial assumption from the very beginning. Okay. After getting to know you, you're correct. I changed my mind about it. So when I asked you what I asked you last night and you said something dark, that was my assumption. That's exactly where I went right back to. And that's why I asked the follow-up question, because that's what I assumed. And I didn't want to assume that.
Got it. Okay. Well, that's the question. That's the only follow-up question that I had. I don't know if anybody else in here has any more questions. I think we have a couple minutes. You guys can request up in the box and go from there. My main chef is here. Chef, I would like to do an interview on you one day. I think that'll be fun. I think you're pretty open. I think you're pretty transparent with the people. But I do think there's some things that I don't know, that the people may want to know. Okay. If you're down. Only if you're down.
When you want to do it?
We can do it whenever. We can do it tomorrow if you're free.
What's tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Monday. A pretty slow day for me tomorrow. I'll be chilling, kicking it.
Tomorrow's a holiday.
Memorial Day. It's one that does not pertain to myself. Does it pertain to you? Like, is it one of those things that you like? You're absolutely.
I don't want to do nothing tomorrow.
Yeah, me neither. That's why I say I'll have a free day tomorrow. I'll be really chilling.
How about after my birthday?
Okay. You just give me a date and time. Or we can come up with a date and time right now. Let's see. Your birthday's the 29th. You only got 4 more days. Well, technically 3. All right. Let's see. Your birthday's Thursday. You want to do it Friday the 30th?
Sure, let's do it Friday.
What time? Same time? 7 Central?
Okay.
All right, that'll be fun. You doing anything fun on the app for your birthday on the 29th or no?
I don't know what we're going to do. More than likely, we'll just go live, chill out a little bit. Nothing crazy.
We should do like a little virtual party. That'd be fun.
It will be fun.
Okay, I don't see nobody else requesting up. I don't. Okay, you know what? Let me check my email because I'm like, shoot, if I don't see no CA, ain't no missing. Okay, I don't. Okay, I don't have nothing. How do you feel about the interview? Do you feel like you pretty much touch base on everything. Bray did say he had an opinion, and we didn't get it. He was referring to part 1 though. He felt like it was really good, but he did have an opinion, but I don't know where he is.
Is he live?
No. Let me see. I'll give him
I have my iPad down here with me.
Oh, happy birthday to
your call has been forwarded.
He's probably on TikTok.
He's in FWA's live.
You see him?
No, that's what they're saying in the comments. I don't have my iPad.
Can y'all tell him to come here? Because nothing's important going on over there.
HB.
Hi.
Hey, I was just asking, are we back to your CA or the breezy one?
Mine. Both are working. Yep, you can do mine.
Okay, cool.
I'll give him a minute. But he had only heard part 1. I didn't even know he was in last night. Y'all, I'm ready to watch Baddies tonight. The Real Housewives of Atlanta. And basketball-wise, I am. Chef, I'm not going to lie. I really thought you was going to really, really get in just a lot of... Sorry, it was connected to the car. I really thought you was going to get into just a lot of other stuff. I really did, but I think you was... It's pretty balanced. It was good. Y'all, I am going to watch Baddies Gone Wild. I just haven't gotten around to it, but I'm going to try to. I'll start tonight. Or tomorrow, since I'll be, like, chilling at the house. Thank you, Spicy Cutes. Did y'all go get Braid or no? If not, we can wrap it up. We can talk. Somebody wrote messy mail and said, "Why do you allow Trina to play in your face? I truly hate that as one of your supporters. Can you read it on the live?" I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer. Somebody says, "Hey HB, why is the fridge keep talking about you? I'm over it. I screen recorded 1 sec." Okay, just send it to me. I don't know who the fridge is, but
Who is the fridge?
I don't know. But
Yeah, a few people. They said they just got told by FWA he's not coming. She's scolding them.
we're about to see what whoever the fridge is and what they said, you guys.
Oh, they saying Rose is the fridge.
But why would she be talking about me? Well, we're gonna see.
BK, what? Oh, he mad at Fella.
Is my streamer in here?
Streamer was in the comments.
Somebody just wrote messy mail again to say Rose was talking shit about you for no reason. I gotta see the clip, you guys. Y'all know that. You gotta hear the clip. She was talking about Ajax. Okay. Hello?
What's up? I'm on Friends with Attitudes Live.
Okay, and I heard that you're misbehaving, but anyways, me and Chef was wrapping up the interview pretty much, and I know you wanted to give your opinion on something, so I didn't know if you were free. You could have dropped in, but...
I'll come tell you. They just said you bopped Chef on the head. They was texting me. They said...
No, I did not. They so messy.
They said she just bop Chef.
No, I didn't. We had I think we did a really good... We had a good second half.
Okay, I said, what the fuck? Not too much, bitch. Let me get in here and listen. I do got an opinion. I'm just about to keep cussing out Dime real quick, and I'll come over there.
Stop. No, stop cussing her out and come on.
No, that big body bitch is about to get it. I'll be over there in a second.
Babe. Why y'all be lying so messy? I didn't bop me and Chef bop me upside the goddamn head. And I asked too. With the tough ass questions.
Okay, let me say this once and for all so that it is clear. Okay? When it comes to what happened, for those that know to HB, I do believe what she said happened. Okay? Let me just be 100% clear so that there's no confusion. She called me out on what I said last night because I did make an assumption. What did you say?
Oh, I was gonna play this little clip they sent me. It said Rose's talking about me.
Oh, Rose, go ahead.
Okay, so somebody told me that yesterday, when Chef and HB met, Chef was asking HB to give her props on clocking the Black Chicago situation. And HB just sat up there and asked her mid-interview, why did you tell me to give you props about Black Chicago thing? That tells me you still don't believe me. They said Chef sitting there speechless. They got nothing to say.
What?
They said Chef basically said back then that HB had set him up, and I guess she wanted her kudos from HB, but HB was like, you apologized to me for assuming it was a setup just to come back and ask for kudos.
I really thought he was going to get to this a lot of other stuff. I was, yeah, but thank you.
The comments switched up on Chef.
It's pretty balanced. That's good.
Chef never believed you, babe.
No, I am going to watch that. It's been a while. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yes, well, she's not talking about me. Shoot, she's talking about Chef. She's not talking crap about me, guys. Okay, Braid is gonna come over, you guys, in a minute, but yeah, she's not talking about me. She's not talking about me. She's giving her opinion. It sounds like she's recapping or she's streaming, and she's giving her opinion on what's going on with the interview. But she's certainly not talking about me. That's why I be asking y'all for receipts, because y'all, Lord.